O Mother Nui, stretch high above this valley. Your starry body is our glory. Then see the hawk of yonder Ahurquit, his fiery splendor, oh so mighty. He brings a light for all our weary souls. He makes the broken spirit whole.
Welcome to the deep dive. So what if the operating system for your reality wasn't actually located in your brain? What if it was, right in the center of your face?
Right, I know it sounds wild, but today's mission is unpacking this esoteric research report on something called the pentagram olfactus.
Which, it sounds like a spooky movie trope.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's actually this fascinating symbolic matrix. It merges Hermeticism, so ancient alchemy, with Kabbalistic linguistics and even planetary magic, all to map out human sensory integration.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because how does a geometric shape actually organize our reality?
Well, the text establishes that human beings aren't just passive receivers of the world.
Right, we aren't just walking around letting light hit our eyes and sound hit our ear.
Exactly. Instead, we are these dynamic calibration points. We're tasked with decoding a really chaotic, what the text calls a circle of perception.
Circle of perception. Okay, so if the pentagram is our sensory operating system, we have to look at the apex of it, the highest point of the star.
Right, which you'd think would be the mind.
Yeah. But the text says that apex isn't the brain, and it's not even vision, it's olfactus, the sense of smell.
Yeah, the sense of smell gets the absolute top spiritual billing here.
Here's where it gets really interesting to me, because I have to push back on that a bit. As humans, we usually treat vision as our main sense. Look around. We are glued to screens. We are overwhelmingly visual creatures today. Doesn't that kind of contradict this entire ancient framework?
Not necessarily, actually. What's fascinating here is that it comes down to the mechanics of how the senses operate in space. Think about vision or hearing.
Okay.
They fundamentally require physical distance. You are observing something over there. But scent is an intimate, literal ingestion of a substance's physical essence.
Oh, wow. So you are breathing a piece of the world into your body?
Exactly. It crosses a physical boundary. And because of that, it bypasses the rational filters of the conscious mind entirely.
Straight to the instinct.
Right. The text calls smell the subtle door. It connects instantly to memory and instinct. It acts as the ultimate spark of intuition, happening before you even form a rational thought.
Wait, and it equates this to a letter, right?
Yes, to Aleph, the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which represents the divine breath. It's that ability to detect the hidden virtue or even the danger of a thing before your brain processes what you're actually looking at.
Okay, but if smell is delivering this raw, immediate intuition, how do the other four senses catch up without, totally overwhelming us?
Well, the other senses have to be modulated to follow smell's lead. And this is where planetary archetypes come into play.
Ah, the planetary mixing board.
Right. For instance, Mars governs vision while Saturn governs hearing.
Hold on, why those specific planets? How does Mars connect to eyesight?
So Mars is traditionally the archetype of war, aggression, forward momentum. And that perfectly aligns with vision. It's a penetrating, forward-facing sense that actively seeks out targets.
Oh, I see. And Saturn?
Saturn represents boundaries, structure, and time, which mimics how hearing relies on the structural limits of our ears and, the physical delay of sound waves over time.
Okay, so the senses are dialed in by these planetary vibes.
Yeah.
And the text puts a figure right in the middle of this sensory pentagram called the Axeman.
Yes, the human center, the master of rhythmic precision.
So is the Axeman basically like a DJ at a cosmic mixing board, constantly tweaking the planetary sliders to maintain a perfect wall of sound without blowing out the speakers?
I love that analogy, yes. If the Mars Vision slider is too high, you become obsessed with surface appearances. The DJ has to chop that back down. And there's also an outer boundary called the alchemical tower.
Wait, alchemical tower, like a physical fortress, or is this a metaphor?
Purely psychological discipline. It prevents your internal energy from scattering into the void when you're overstimulated.
To keep the mix contained.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this DJ's rhythm prevents the mind from reacting blindly to chaotic stimuli. Maintaining that rhythm allows for true sovereignty.
giving you the power to cut down what the text calls the weight. It was the viperous head of ignorance.
The viperous head of ignorance, yes, which is basically our tendency to react poorly when our senses are unbalanced.
Wow. So what does this all mean for you listening right now? This text isn't just ancient geometry, you know? It's a practical roadmap for sensory balance.
Because ultimately, we don't grasp reality directly. We only ever perceive a sensory translation of it.
Exactly. You are the architect of your own experience. So the next time you walk into a room and instantly get a bad feeling before you've even seen or heard anything, remember the Aleph.
Right, that's your olfactory operating system bypassing your rational brain to protect you.
Which leaves you with this to chew on. If this geometric operating system maps your reality and your internal axeman is a little out of rhythm at the mixing board, what profound hidden virtues in your daily life are you completely failing to perceive?